Hello and welcome to the new Power BI dashboard tutorial. And in this tutorial, I will show you Twitter dashboard for analyzing tweets. So that's the third dashboard. So if you have not seen my previous two dashboard, the sales performance and customer analytics, I recommend that you check that if you have those needs. Also, if you don't have specific to sales or customer analytics, the whole idea is that I am basically giving you a look and interface for beginner perspective so that you should know how you can pick up the right colors or put the placements correctly over there and utilize some of the beginner friendly techniques within the Power BI. So with that, let me first show you the dashboard. So dashboard I want to show you today is the Twitter dashboard. I have spent hours on figuring out how the layout should really look like and what should be your title, where is your filter, where are your KPIs, right? And related to the KPIs, what the trend really looks like, and then some more in-depth information about tweets, right? So what we are looking over here is a Twitter dashboard where we have the count of tweets, the average impression based on users are clicking on that, and then the engagement rate based on their impression, how the people are engaging it, and then how many media engagements is basically coming out. So for example, in the month of June, you have 223 tweets. Out of that, 595 impression you got, and from that you got 3.46% engagement rate and the 13 media engagement, right? Over here, some more information about what are your top 10 tweets by URL click. That means on these tweets people have clicked the URL that is being given by you or from the personality whomsoever you are basically tracking it. When this personality is tweeting a lot, right? Like on Tuesday, clearly there are a lot of tweets. Similarly, media engagement versus media views. You have media views, like over here on day 17 you have 459 media views. Out of that, 272 media engagement. So that's quite amazing, right? So that's an interface I have created. What is the backend data behind it? The backend data behind this is this, which you can find it in the description. You have the tweet, you have the tweet ID, when the tweet was made, what is impression, what is engagement count, engagement rate, how many retweets that has happened. That's also another important metric if you want to show it. Like how many replies you got, how many likes you got, user profile click after looking at the tweet, and URL clicks, hashtag clicks, detailed expense, permalink clicks, app opens, app install, and after that, if anyone started following, emailing the tweet, dialing the phone, media views, and media engagement. So as you can see, not everything I have shown it over there, but just some of the critical information what I find from my perspective. The whole idea behind this dashboard is that if you have, let's say, tweet related analysis that you want to make, or if you have any other analysis that you want to make and want to just copy this layout, you can actually copy this layout very easily, as I will explain you in a couple of minutes, and like within 25 to 30 minutes we should be all done after my hours of exercise. All right, with that, just a quick information: if you have landed very first time on my channel, then this particular Google Sheet, which is a live Google Sheet, the link is present in the description, where you can get all of my previous videos by searching. You can search all of my previous videos here as it is searchable like a normal spreadsheet, Excel and all, and then you have the link in the column B via you can jump to that video. Also, since it is live, you will going to get all of my future videos here as well. So make sure you bookmark it, and whenever you need, let's say, a design idea or Power BI related solution, hopefully you may be able to find it. Or if not, why not recommend it by putting it in a comment. With that, let's move on to the Tableau. The Power BI. So with that, what do we have is the Twitter dashboard. So a look and feel, as you can see over here, is that the theme is mostly driven by the gray and blue color, where we have given a lot of emphasis to the KPI by putting a dark black color so that they are standing out, right? So what we can do is we can start creating it with the banner. Over here, if I click on the page 2, or let me just make sure I do this, or I will say tweet analysis. So what I can do is in the page 2 we can start creating it. So if I just expand this by clicking there and click on the text box is now present here. I will just drag it up a little bit and just put it till like here, yeah. And then we will increase the size, let's say to 36, and we will give some space. That's what I did, just to stand it out a little bit. Twitter dashboard, or you can basically say tweet analysis dashboard or something like that, if that's what you have in the mind, or any other business, for any other business that you want to create that dashboard. And if I select that and make it what, bold, right? So we have this. Now if you see, what I have done is I have used the blue color, so I will just go in here and I will use this color, which is, oh, this is like way too much lighter, so I'll use this color, which is better. Yes, this is what I wanted to use. And if I go here in the background, in the format text box, and over here I can choose this, and the formatting I want to keep it like 60%. That's what I've done it here as well. So that's why I remember what I've done. So after a lot of experiment, I figured out this is making sense, but now in just a couple of seconds you got to know what needs to be done, right? So with that, we have this. Now over here, if you see in the tweet analysis, what we have is the month. So we can bring in the month, and what do we need is basically a slicer just so that I can use it here in the fields. Okay, social media, and in the time we have the hierarchy, which is this. We have month, right? So I remember there is one thing which I have done, and probably it will not come, these dates and all will not come properly to you as well. So let me show you what I did. Okay, so this time is basically was not coming properly. If I go here and click on the social media dashboard, right, after ID there was this time element, but time was not coming perfectly like this one, because it was giving plus 0000 as one of the suffix, right? So what I did is I basically went into the transform data option, right? So I clicked on the transform data and I did certain steps for this. So if you see for the social media, right, there are a couple of columns, with a couple of things which I did. I tried to first change the type, it did not work, but then I split the column by delimiter, right? So the delimiter was plus, right? And what we got is basically I got this column time.1 and time.2. I did not need the time.2, so I removed the column and I changed this data type here to a date, right? So, and I then finally parse the dates as well. So there is this option of parsing a date. Once you select this, and you can basically parse the date. I think over here data type is present as date, and if I try to remember, there is a over here I selected the date as well. So that's something which I did. So parsing is important so that you can get the right values of date. And then I tried to filter it, but nothing which I have done. I was basically seeing that there are some values which are not exactly the date, but that's okay. I just left it. So nothing is being done on the transform. Even if I remove this, there will be no issue. But the important part is that you split the time column with the delimiter plus and convert this time into the by changing the data type and then parsing the date. so that you get the output as needed, like this one, so that we are able to create the month, or we are able to get this date hierarchy, right? So that's one. And over here what I can do is I just go here, background, I will just make this background as well so that it is becoming a part of it, right? So that way one can easily just see it as it is part of this dashboard. Okay, so after this what we need is basically the KPIs. So we get this card, and over here the card is this, right? And first thing first is basically your count of tweets. So if I just click it over here, and over here we say count, what you get is 1181. What we are getting it over here is 223 because I've selected the June. So if I just go here and select the June, 223 is the count that you will going to get. And as you can see, I've done some formatting. So the formatting is actually nothing but I have made it bold. So I made it bold, and I have set this as title as, sorry, not the title, but over here I double click and I said tweet count, and you get the tweet count over there, right? And then there is obviously the background behind this, so we have to select that and search this, make the background color to this and change it to 60% just to match with this one, right? So yeah, this should be okay. And then I will just paste it 4 times. 3 times actually. 3. And if I just select all of these by holding down my control key, and I would save in the format, align, distribute vertically. Now they are distributed vertically in a proper way. Okay, also I think I can just select all of them and move them a little bit up so that there is not much of a space over there. Okay, so now the next thing is, after the tweet count we have what? Average impression, engagement rate, and media engagement. So average impression, I'll select this, remove this. I have impression here, so I will just simply select impression and I will say average impression. And average impression, I will just double click and change its name here so that it is coming properly over there, average impressions. And here in the formatting we will go in and data label, and we will change the value decimal places to 0, so 595, right? So we are done. The next one is basically engagement rate, so we will just remove this, and we have this as engagement rate, not the sum but the average engagement rate. So I will just remove that off and simply say average engagement and rate. So average engagement rate 3.46, that's what we are getting it over here, and that's fine. And finally the media engagement, so we will remove this and we will bring in what? Media engagement. There you go, media engagement. I will just make it a capital little bit so that media engagement, and it has to be not this. We can take the sum as well, but if we take the average, we get the average media engagement like 13, right? Because it is for the entire month. So up to us, depends on the requirement. I'm just taking the average, and then I'll just go here in the data label and I will change this to 0, and you have 13 media engagement. So that is a way by which I have created very quickly these 4. However, placing it, where to place it, how to place it is something interesting. Okay, so after that what I have created is the area chart, as you can see. And if I just keep it like this much, what I have taken is basically this time. I need all the time, so I have removed, sorry, choose the time instead of date hierarchy. And what I need over here is the tweets count. So what I take is going to be, where are you, tweet, and the values. Now I will just going to remove everything because this is associated with this and we don't have to show anything else apart from that. So couple of formatting, we select this, go into the formatting, we say x-axis disable, and on the y-axis we are getting count of tweets, so let's disable that. Expand the y-axis, go down, further down, you have title, switch it off, right, and close this or collapse this. Now we have this title, so we will go here on this title and remove this title. We will change the background color to what, gray, right, this one, the first one, and transparency to be 60%. So what do we have is this, right, that's what we are getting. So now up to us whether we want to keep this same color or we want to change it. I think for now we are good. Okay, so I'll just expand this so that there is a bit of a space. It's Control C, Control V, right? C, Control V, C, Control V. So now the shape is coming up, as you can see. The whole thing, or the important part in your dashboard, not just choosing the right set of KPI, that's obviously very important, but how to place them, where to place them with the proper alignment is basically giving you is basically giving you a good experience from an end user point of view. With that, you have this average impression, so I will remove that and I will bring this, and that should be your average impression, right? So that way one can basically see when the average impression rate was very high, like on 11th of June. Okay, then after that you have the engagement rate, so we remove this, we bring in the engagement rate, and I think I need to change this to the average engagement rate. And finally what we have is the media engagement, so we will going to remove this and we will bring this and call it average. Just need to make sure that this average and this metric should make sense, or it should be in alignment. Alright, so we have this, so we will make sure we hit the save button. Otherwise, if anything happens in the Power BI, we're going to lose everything that we have created so far. Okay, with that, sorry, I don't know why I switched it. I wanted to come here. Okay, top 10 tweets by URL click. So over here, we will going to take this. I will just reduce the size, let's say up until here. Give it a bit of a space. Yeah, that should be okay. Top 10 tweets. So what I need to bring on the axis is tweets. So where are my tweets? Tweet is here. Tweet. Yeah. And what do we need? Top 10 tweets by URL click. So count of URL click. URL click is where here. So URL click is coming. And this should be your count. This should be your average, I guess. Let me see what I've done it over here. So we have the URL clicks and we have sum of URL clicks. Okay, so the total is what we are taking. If I expand this and if I take this and we have this information, we need to make it top 10. So we need to come over here in filters. So we have this tweet. We will say we will going to filter top n, top what, top 10 by what field, by URL click. Click on apply filter and here we get the top 10 tweets by URL clicks. Okay, so that's one, but we have to change the color and all. So we have to go in visualization, formatting, and over here we will going to choose the data color, which will be your data color, I believe this one. Yeah, so it is matching with the rest of the dashboard. we don't need this. However, what we can do is we can basically enable the data labels. I think that's what will going to make sense. What I have not done it over here, I have done it over here. That's why I was wondering what's basically the case is. So if I select this and go inside data label, switch it on, yeah, it makes sense. Now we don't need this axis, y-axis. So this, and we don't need the title on the y-axis, so we will disable that. Oh, actually we need it on the y-axis but not on the x-axis. And we need to actually enable the y-axis as well. So what we don't need is actually the title, but actually the tweet names. And yeah, here we don't need the title as well, so yes, we will going to remove that. Cool. So collapse this so that there is some space. We have this, and we have URL click by tweet. So one more thing which I will just try to see is we have this y-axis italic maximum category width. I just try to oops, that's just way too much. So definitely not this one, but I guess this one here. Yeah, I get some more text, right? And I reduce the inner padding a little bit so that they look separate, looks better. And yes, with that setting we will going to collapse the y-axis. We have this, we need to correct this. So enabling the data label, we need basically what, not the data label actually, what is this? This is title is here. So we will say top 10 tweets by URL clicks. And this we will change the color to what? I think this one. Yeah. And we will center align this. We'll make it 16 and we'll make it bold, right? And same settings we will going to apply everywhere. The last thing we may want to do is the background, right? So formatting, background, change this to the lighter version of gray and make it what, 60% more lighter. So this is in collaboration or in alignment with the rest of the one. So we have this, which is top 10 URL clicks, tweet by weekday. So that's something we have to copy and paste so that I don't have to do that same tedious formatting work. And I will reduce this as well. Yeah, this much is fine, I guess. So we have this, and what do we need over here is tweets by weekday. So we need weekday and count of tweets. Now the weekday is a new column that I created. So if I just go into the data, into the social media, this is a weekday column. So if I just click it over here, the function you need to use is basically the format. Within the format, you need to use the time.1, this basically field, and just say DDD. That will going to give me the 3-letter weekday name. That's the setting, or that's the new column weekday I have created. So if I just go here, select this, over here we have to first of all change the tweet by weekday. So should be vertical columns. So select this, make it this, and we need to remove this values, and sorry, not the values actually, but we have to remove what, tweet from the axis, and we have to say weekday. And so this is what is in alignment with this one. So tweet by weekday, and we just have to see for this selection, do I get top 10 tweet? I will just remove that, right? URL click and weekdays is what we need, right? So we have this, and after that we have to change just the title. The title is over here, which is tweet count by weekday. Okay, finally 67. So looks like what I'm doing is probably, am I taking the count? I'm taking count distinct. I think this should be, oh, URL clicks, right? We don't need the URL clicks, but what we need is the tweet count of tweet. So select this, remove the URL click, and get the tweet here. Correct? So that's what we get. So that's one thing. If you want to change this width, what you can do, come here on the y-axis, go down for no. Oh, okay, maybe on the x-axis, because right now we are plotting it on the x-axis. All right, inner padding, if you want to further reduce it, just to look in alignment with this. So this will look good. Okay, after this, what we need is save for sure, and then our final chart, which is media views versus media engagement. Very important, what I feel at least. So I'll select this and expand this media views versus media engagement. So what we need is basically over here, how we are plotting it is by weekday. What? Yes, day. So we'll take the day. Oops, no. Remove that. Need to make sure that we are selecting this day. Come on, day is here. Now the values, media views and media engagement, right? The only thing which is problematic is axis and the color. So let's go into the formatting. We don't need x-axis, we don't need y-axis. On the y-axis we don't need the title as well, so remove that, right? Y-axis. On the x-axis we don't need the title, so remove that as well, right? And for the actual title, media views versus media engagement, so we will say capital M, media views versus media by day. We need to remove that, media engagement, right? So this center 16, font color, this one, make it bold so that it is in alignment with these two. And then we have these legends. We need to take care of legends as well. So legend, position, top center, and yes, this is this. We have to change the background to the lightest gray and make the transparency to what, 60%. Cool. So with that, one more thing, we have to change the color. So color that I had selected here in the data colors. So this is the first color, this one, and the second color I will going to choose is basically a lighter version. Great. That way some differentiation is present. All right. With that, I think within like 25 minutes or so, we are pretty much there. So I had just recreated it, but think about how much time you will actually need if you have to start brainstorming and think about how you really need to create this structure. So with that, you have this tweet analysis here. You have this tweet analysis here. You can see that here's a little bit lighter version I'm using. So I can even do this over here again in the visualization, because it has to look very much similar to what we are doing. So I think I will going to choose this one and this one. Yeah, now it is in alignment. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to show you. Now you can just simply go in from June, you can change it to July, or you can, so in July clearly something happened here, matter of investigation. August, September, and wherever this information will be not present, it will all blank out like this one. October, September, August, July, right? And there are ways by which you can even take care of that. But for now, for a beginner friendly dashboard, I just wanted to show you how you can very quickly create a stunning looking dashboard like this one. At least from my perspective, it looks really nice. What I think, let me know what do you think about this dashboard, and hopefully you enjoyed the session with me, and I'll now meet you in the next video with a new topic.